guys, so back tonight with another video for you. I've got kind of an interesting one tonight. A lot of people have said that HP is what stands for hinge problem, but can you guess what kind of device we've got in here tonight that has a hinge problem? Probably not, but I'll tell you what, I'll show you. So tonight we've got in for a hinge problem, and what I mean by hinge problem is a broken hinge where the hinges have snapped, come away from this back panel here. We've got a Lenovo. And Lenovo typically doesn't do too bad with their hinge assembly. This hasn't ripped through the screen or anything like that. But I will say that Lenovo is generally a little bit better as far as their build, their craftsmanship goes. You can buy, obviously, a really cheap Lenovo computer. This isn't that. This is actually just essentially an unfortunate circumstance. The guy has, he brought it in because he probably opens his laptop from the side like this. And this nifty little section right here that they put on the laptop for you? Well, it's not just for your webcam. It's also so that you can, when the laptop is closed, pinch it and pull it up. And it kind of reduces the strain on one side or the other. Unfortunately, it looks like maybe he's used to grabbing it on one side and pushing it up. And that's what kind of causes this. So tonight we're going to tear this down and get a model number off of this back cover so that we can get this fixed up for him. Okay, so the first step was just removing the bezel, which is just this part right here that kind of is your protective layer that goes around the screen. So now that that's removed, I'm going to go ahead and pull the screen itself down. And I have to be really careful about this part because when you pull the screen itself down, it does expose the PCB at the bottom down here. And it's also a little difficult to do because if you look really, really closely, try and zoom in here so you guys can see. And I'm not even sure if I see one on this screen. Maybe I can show you on this side. Yeah, that'll be a little easier. Sorry for the gross screen here, but if you look down here towards the corner, you can see at the tip of my fingernail right there, there's a little piece of plastic. Now that little piece of plastic, in theory, is supposed to help pull the glue off the back of the screen while it's still in this casing. It doesn't always work as smoothly as it's supposed to. Sometimes it snaps prematurely, and then I have to go at it a little bit of a different way. I have to be extra careful not to break this screen, so I'm going to be doing this extremely carefully. Unfortunately, I cannot record that on video while showing you guys. I guess I could try, maybe on the other camera. So why don't I go ahead and get the other camera set up for you, see if I can get it recorded while I pull this out. Okay, so it's definitely helpful that the hinge is broken on this side, because then what I can do is just take this right here, try to use my tweezers. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take my tweezers and I'll kind of do a circle motion, try to wrap the adhesive around the tweezer just so I can get a little bit better of a grip on it before actually starting to pull. I have to be very, very careful. This is also a touch screen. And you can see Lenovo doesn't make it easy. This is factory adhesive, so I think he said that this happened once before. Yeah, see, it just snapped at the bottom. So that's not what you want. So basically what I'm going to have to do, or what I'll be forced to do essentially, is try to go at it from the other side first. And if I can get at it from the other side, that'd be great. If not, I'm kind of out of luck. Then I end up having to do an isopropyl alcohol solution application, which it works. It's just not the way I like to do it. Let me just say that. Where did my screwdriver go? There it is. Like my wife says, if my head wasn't attached, I'd lose that too. I'm gonna bring the bot back over to my face here. You guys won't be able to see much of what's going on if I don't. I gotta hold my hand up here and then turn on my tracking with it. Be very gentle. I don't really want to hurt the screen. That's the big thing for me, is making sure that this screen doesn't get hurt. And once I release these hinges, this should be able to lay flat, which will make my job a little easier. It looks like actually both sides are broken. It just wasn't fully showing that yet. Yeah. Cheap plastic. Which, like I said, it's not really a Lenovo characteristic for the plastic on here to be cheap. But this has happened to them once already, apparently. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and twirl this set of tweezers around here. Yeah, that one broke too. What the heck? Alright. Well, officially, this is becoming more difficult than it needs to. So this means I have to flip this over. I'm going to have to pull the screws out of the back of this laptop here. Pull the battery and do it that way. I have to separate the entire top assembly from the bottom assembly here, just to get this one priced out for my customer. And if I look gross, I'm sorry. It's been a full day of working on computers that are gross and dusty. On a couple that were vaped in. And when they're vaped in, they get like stuff caked inside of them. And it's really just not a fun process. So this computer isn't the one that was vaped in, obviously, because it's not even open yet. So. Alright, that should do it for the screws on the bottom cover of this guy. Let's see. See if I can just suction cup that, pull that off. There we go. I'm doing all kinds of fun stuff you can't see right now. Actually, maybe I should show you. Stop the motion tracking and look down. So what I'm about to do here is I'm about to take the hinge assembly out. That way nothing interferes here. And before I remove any electrical components, or not electrical components, but like any display components from the board, like actually unplug anything from the motherboard, I will pull the battery. That way we don't have to worry about accidentally shorting anything, because that does happen. That's one of those super annoying things that does happen. Okay, battery. Okay. Wow. Lenovo here going for the gold with the most difficult battery to get out. It's moving, but not much. There you go. It was a little bit of leverage, I guess. What the heck? Still? Okay. Don't like having to do that. Come on, man. Just get out of there. There we go. Okay. Battery was removed officially. So now I can remove the display cable without having to worry about anything shorting out. And should be able to pull this camera cable too. There we go. And just like that, the LCD should lift right out. Should, in theory. I still have to unplug the Wi-Fi connectors on the other side. That hinge, whew, boy, that hinge did not want to stay connected for anything. Okay, so Wi-Fi connectors right here and here. Unroute these. Looks like they route through the fan. I don't know who did this originally or for the second time, but improperly routed the Wi-Fi connector. The Wi-Fi connector, the Wi-Fi antenna cables. There we go. Okay, screen is officially removed from the body of the computer, so now I can actually work on getting the screen out of the back of this panel here. Or out of the lid, I should say. And I will just share with you what we did here. So you can see that the hinges are removed from this side and down below here, right? And we have the LCD right here. Now I could just price out a new assembly. It might actually be cheaper on labor and things. Probably wouldn't be overall, honestly. So. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and push some of this stuff aside here. Keep it in mind that I need to keep the hinges. All right, so now I got that out of there. So what I use in circumstances like this is I have a little isopropyl alcohol bottle, and that isopropyl alcohol bottle will then, I'll take it and kind of pull the display slightly away at the top if I can, and just kind of run this little needle and put some isopropyl down behind the screen. Now, because the screen's not hooked up anymore, there's no electrical current running through it, so this is not dangerous and it's not going to damage anything. We're just fine. And then I just kind of let that run down back behind to do its thing. Okay, there we go. Alright guys, I'm not going to lie, this next part, huge pain in the butt. And the reason that I say that is because Lenovo puts way more glue on the back of the screen than is absolutely necessary. Now, it might just be the type of adhesive strips that they use to adhere the screen to the back of the casing here. But either way, I hate it. This took way too much effort, way too much time, and I should have just been able to pull the stupid tabs at the bottom to pull the screen out. But you're going to see me struggle here for quite a while, applying virtually a whole tiny bottle. I don't know how many milliliters this thing is. It looks like 30 milliliters onto this panel just because I can't get it out. And in doing so, I haven't ruined anything, but there's a higher chance of damaging the screen when they use
really junky strips on the back to hold that screen into place. Now, Lenovo, this is an area where you can improve, okay? And I know you're probably never going to watch my videos, but eventually, maybe someday, we'll get there. But I hate it. Come up with a better way to secure screens. Putting 4 screws in the screen and having a tiny bezel around that is still doable, just like the old days. Why can't you do that anymore? It was a piece of cake. Look at how much effort this is taking. And if this screen breaks, guess who's on the hook for a new screen? Me, the repair guy. And you know why? Because you made it super tough. Okay? Now, I could have heated that back panel up. I don't like to do that. Sometimes that can cause damage on the LCD panel if there's too much heat that comes from the back. So, I mean, I could have made my life easier by doing that. I just didn't want to risk it. I like my customers to go home with, the same quality machine that they came in with, just with the exception of the fact that it's not broken. So, anyway, this is my 2 to 3 minute rant on Lenovo. Lenovo, this is my beef with you, so figure it out. That way consumers don't have to deal with this, because I feel like I have to charge more just to get the freaking screen out, and I shouldn't have to do that. So anyway, now that I've got the screen out, I'm trying to pull the adhesive off of it. You can see it's still not coming off super easily. It's coming off in pieces. And then I end up removing the webcam, and after I remove the webcam, I decided, I'm going to grab the part number off the back of the panel, and then we're going to jump into the next segment here, which is finding and pricing the part.
Okay, so popping over here to the desktop now, it's time to go ahead and see what we can find for a part. So, I'll go ahead and forego all this silly news. So for parts on Lenovo computers, usually I start out with the original part number, which on this machine looks like it's 5CB 1B42833. And there we go. So sometimes I get lucky and there's an Amazon listing, and the Amazon listing can usually be, it can be great or it can be terrible. So what I'm going to do now is take a peek at what it is. This one looks like it's the wrong color. It's gray and we need a blue one. So there does appear to be a blue one right here. You just need to make sure that it's actually the correct size. For legal reasons, they're not actually allowed to show the Lenovo logo on there, so they just put a sticker on there that looks like their own stuff. It really is the Lenovo logo that's on there. That appears to be exactly what I have right now. Didn't even have to take the Wi-Fi antennas out. For $42, that's fair. It's actually really fair. Looks pretty good. So as long as it's the 15IL05. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to check on the model number on the bottom of the computer here. Just because on this bottom panel there should be a model number. And there is, but it's usually so hard to see I have to shine my phone flashlight on it. We'll just go ahead and use the flashlight for my business phone. Sorry guys, this is actually very difficult to make out. Holy crap, Lenovo. They printed black on a dark blue background and it's like impossible to make out. I know I'm not that blind. It's just they have so much. They have this fancy like reflective stuff that goes over the top of it that I can't make out what it actually says. I'm pretty sure that's the correct thing. It looks identical in just about every way to the back of this. So I think we're okay. If I wanted to order this up, I could. I'm going to go ahead and look around a little bit more just to see what else I can find. This isn't a bad option, but it's not the end of the line just yet. Sometimes I can find a much better deal than what we have here. That includes like a new screen, just in case the screen got messed up, which again, I don't think it did. I just like to be extra careful. So we'll go back here and we'll say 5CB 1B 42833, and there we go again. And so yeah, 15 ITL 5, that actually has to be what it is. So I'm going to check eBay. eBay's a better deal, but it's coming from China. See, that's the thing, is when I order stuff from eBay, it comes from China. And rarely, see, this looks like it'll be here on Thursday if I order it. But if I order from eBay, it comes from China. Now, the reason being is that most of the parts for the Lenovos actually come from China. So, because that's where they're manufactured originally. But if you take this part number here and you actually go out to ebay.com, sometimes you can have better luck actually finding your laptop parts directly if you just type the part number in and paste it in here. And you'll find a lot of these too, but if I can find a full display that someone's torn out of a good working one, I would not be opposed to that. It's looking like it doesn't seem like that's going to be what we're going to end up with. So one of the hinges is missing a couple of screws, so we're going to need to order a new set of hinges as well. I'm certainly not going to order from China, so if we're going to order on eBay, we're going to order something that we'll get sooner. Because $19 is reasonable, but my customer doesn't want to wait a month, I can tell you that. Here we have the Lenovo back cover and the hinges for $34.06. And that's a pretty good deal. It comes from LA. Friday the 17th to Friday the 24th. So we're looking at 1 week on part shipment there. I still gotta say, I think that the Amazon deal is gonna be the better route to go. We're gonna pay about $10 more, but that's gonna ship a lot sooner. So I am ready to reach out to this customer and let them know that this is the situation. And once I get the new part in, I will show you guys how I apply adhesive. Sometimes I honestly don't even believe that these adhesive things are necessary. The bezel always has done a really great job of holding the display in place without the need for stupid adhesive. So basically all that the adhesive tells me is that they don't trust their bezel enough to hold things in place. But anyway, that's the process on this Lenovo. So if you guys are interested in seeing the rest of it, let me know. I can upload the actual repair aspect of it later on once I receive the part on the 16th, which would be Thursday. But it'd probably honestly come on the 17th because it's 12:37 a.m. right now, and my customer is definitely in bed. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you like the content, somewhere down below there, probably that direction, is going to be a subscribe button. If you could go ahead and hit that, I would be super delighted. And if you could like this video too, that'd definitely help me get some more stuff out to you guys, some more relevant repair videos and things like that. So anyway, again, thanks for watching.